Good morning, students. Now let me solve the problem number 3. Problem number 3, Sri Guruputra is an employee in Lakshmi company. His gross salary is rupees 5,60,000 for the year ending 31st March 2020. And when we will go through the problem, what implications that we are going to draw in the sense, Sri Guruputra, type of the assessor will be an individual and he is an employee in a Lakshmi company. He is working in a company. His gross salary is rupees 5,60,000. We are not going to impose tax on the gross salary, but they have given the gross salary. It means that it is before showing the deduction of standard deduction under section 16IA. That is why that gross salary has to be converted into the taxable salary of the taxable income. For the year ending 31st March 2020, this is the previous year. Whatever the earnings so made between the 1st April 2019 to 31st March 2020, all those sources of income has to be considered. That is why he has earned around 5,60,000 during the previous year ending 31st March 2020. Now, this gross salary has to be converted to the taxable salary. For that, what you are going to do? You are going to show the deduction. That is why first step will be calculation of taxable salary. Taxable salary. First, as a base, what I am going to consider? I am going to consider the gross salary. What is the amount of gross salary? That is 5,60,000. From this, I am going to deduct the standard deduction. Standard deduction. The applicable section is 16IA. Amount to rupees 50,000. From 5,60,000, I am going to deduct the standard deduction amount to rupees 50,000. This is nothing but a taxable salary. That to 5,10,000 only. Either it is called as a taxable salary or the taxable income also. On which the tax is going to be paid. Now the next step will be we are going to consider the slab as according to their rates. That is why calculation of tax liability of Mr. Guruputra. Tax liability of Mr. Guruputra. So, slab. Thereafter, I am going to consider the rate. Then, tax has to be paid. What is the first slab? On first rupees 2,50,000. The applicable tax rate will be no tax is going to be imposed up to 2,50,000 on next rupees 2,50,000. The applicable rate will be 5%. So here the taxable salary is 5,10,000. That I will take From this 5 lakh 10 up to 2 lakh 50, I have not paid any tax. That is why I am going to deduct. What remains is rupees 5 lakh 10 minus 2 lakh 50. It remains 2 lakh 60,000. 2 lakh 60,000. But my slab will be ends with only 2 lakh 50,000. That is why on 2 lakh 50,000 I am going to tax at the rate of 5%. The next slab will be only up to 2 lakh 50,000. But my amount is 2 lakh 60,000. Up to 2 lakh 50,000 I can tax only up to 5%. That is my 2 lakh 50 into 5%. It gives me 12,500. 12,500 and 2 lakh 50 from 2 lakh 60. If you deduct 2 lakh 50, the remaining 10,000 will fall in the third slab. That is so called as on next rupees 5 lakh. It is going to be taxed at the rate of 20%. 20%. So what you need to do here is from 2 lakh 60 you need to deduct the up to 2 lakh 50. That is why 2 lakh 60 minus 2 lakh 50. This 2 lakh 50, what is that amount? Next 2 lakh 50. It gives me only 10,000. Only 10,000. And on this 10,000, what I will do? I will calculate the impost tax at the rate of 20%. That is why 10,000 into 20%. That gives me only 2,000. So my tax liability, it becomes the 14,500. 14,500. So here, when I have calculated the tax liability, what we need to consider? Whether the rebate under section 87A is to be allowed or not. So in the previous two problems, I have allowed rebate under section 87A up to 12,500. Why? Because the taxable income or the total income does not exceed 5 lakh. Then only I can allow the rebate under section 87A. But here the taxable salary has exceeded 5 lakh rupees. It is 5 lakh 10,000. Now rebate under section 87A I am not going to allow. When the total income exceeds rupees 5 lakh, no rebate is allowed, but you need to pay the health and education cess at the rate of 4%. That is why apart from the tax liability, you need to pay health and education cess. Health and education cess. What is the percentage? At the rate of 4%. At the rate of 4%. Health and education cess that I have to pay when my taxable income exceeds rupees 5 lakh. That is why on 14,500 I have to pay them 4 percentage health and education cess at the rate of 4 percentage. So on 14,500, calculate 14,500 into 4 percentage will be the 580 rupees. That is nothing but the health and education cess. Now this is, when I am going to add this becomes tax payable by Sri Guruputra. 15,080 rupees. That is nothing but a tax payable by Sri Guruputra. So let us go through the problem once again. So here Guruputra is one of the employees of a company and his gross salary is 5,60,000 and that too year ending 31st March 2020. First this gross salary has to be converted to the taxable salary. Gross salary in the sense before showing the deduction under section 16IA, that has to be converted to the taxable salary. That is 5,60,000 I have taken as a base. From this I have deducted the standard deduction 50,000. It gives me 5,10,000. This is nothing but a taxable income or a taxable salary on which I am going to supposed to pay the tax. That is fine. Now I am going to calculate the tax liability of Sri Guruputra. It gives me on first 2,50,000 no tax. Next 2,50,000 will be 5%. That is fine. What I will do on 2,50,000 5%. But here the amount is 2,60,000. From 2,60,000 2,50,000 I have deducted. It is going to be taxed under the 10,000 is going to be taxed under the 20%. That is fine. 5,20,000 minus 2,50,000. On this 2,50,000 I have paid the tax at the rate of 5%. That gives me 12,500. Then from 2,60,000 I am going to deduct the 2,50,000. That gives me 10,000. On this 10,000 I have to pay the tax at the rate of 20%. That gives me 10,000 into 20% will be 2,000. Now if you add both this, it gives me tax liability amounted to rupees 14,500. So here when I have calculated the tax liability, I have to take into consideration whether I can allow the rebate under section 87A or not. This is one of the most important steps. So here the total income of the taxable salary, if it does not exceed rupees 5 lakh, then only I can allow the rebate under section 87A up to 12,500. But here in the situation, the taxable income will be the 5,10,000. That is fine. I am not going to allow a rebate under section 87A. But instead of that, even I have to pay the health and education cess. This health and education cess will come into picture when my taxable salary exceeds rupees 5 lakh. On the tax liability, I have to pay the health and education cess at the rate of 4%. That is why on 14,500 is my tax liability into 4%. That gives me 5,80,000. The total will be the 15,080. That is the tax payable by Sri Guruputra. So this is how we are going to calculate the tax. So with this I am going to conclude my discussion. Thank you.